Hey, it's PHILA, and you're watching PHILA TV, the ultimate YouTube channel. I'm a cinematographer, just a dude with a camera. All right, this is day 5, part 3 of my 1964 VW Bug Build a Budget Cal Bug project. I've got a wiring harness out of my 66 that I had sitting around, and I'm going to put it in the 64. This was somebody's project. It was completely stripped, came with a bunch of parts, and my idea is to get it cleaned up and put it back on the road. So wiring harness day to day, and if this is something you're interested in, let's get started. Okay, before I get any further along, I better grab a camera. As you can see, what I'm working on here is the wiring. I have old wiring loom from my 66 Bug that I'm gonna use and adapt here. Most of everything is the same until you get to the relay boxes, and that's where it's all different. So here's what I got going on so far. Headlights are wired into place using the existing loom. Over here, I got the rest of the wiring loom hanging. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get in here and clean all of these wires so we're certain which color they are so we could follow the schematic. And the 66 had all kinds of wires jumping from fuse box to headlights. And I mean, here I even have a harness for the interior light, which I'm gonna use, and all of these factory wires, which is gonna be great. All the connectors, this is a taillight harness for the passenger side. That's gonna be nice. The other one is hanging in here as well. Got an original Hella horn, a couple of relays, and then look how nice the wiper mechanism cleaned up. And that was just some degreaser and a lot of hot water. And that's what a high mileage car looks like. I'm not even gonna use that one. So this car apparently had low mileage. Front latch, got a few things going on. So we're gonna go ahead and get this wiring first, like I said, cleaned up, and then I'm gonna lay it out, and I'm gonna try and figure out the best entrance for it, because the way 66 and 64 traveled through the pan, they're different. You know, from the pan up to the firewall is different. So I'm gonna try and make do with what I have, because I didn't want to buy a $400 wiring harness for this little vehicle. So where are we at here? Dash is all put together. We stuck out the chrome molding that to put on the glove box. Threw a couple of beatable chopped down high backs in there. Floor's been sealed and painted. Not sure what we're gonna do with the back seat. Not gonna do anything with the headliner. And there's the opening for the interior light, which I have somewhere. All right, so that's it. Underneath the deck lid, we are gonna go back into this corner, and then somewhere in there we trace the wire through and then pull the harness. All right, that's it for now. Budget Cal Bug build at its finest. All right, I sprayed degreaser on all the ends. I'm not so much worried about like all the rust on the bottom of the harness, but just like I said, the ends I want cleaned up. And then some of these connectors I also did, so just gonna spray it off. And as you can see, not gonna have any problem like the speedometer harness. All that's gonna match up nicely. All right, so I'm gonna take this back in the shop and dry it all off. Here's what I've done. I've taken a bus accelerator cable I had laying around, and you see there's a space to go through right there. So I set my cable through it. And it came through here. So since there's been some modifications done and heater ducts removed, I went and drilled a hole right there that I'm going to pass the harness through this direction out to the engine. Then I'm going to run it alongside here. And then on the earlier Beetles, they had, later Beetles, 66 and up, they had a hole here that entered through here. So the only thing I'm going to be able to do is lay the harness over the top of this, and I'll silicone it in, and then have it travel into this hole and out through the top. Okay, the first thing I've gone and done is zip tied all the lines together as much as I can. You see, all the wires are nice and snug. I'm going to go ahead and snip all of these off right now. And then I'm going to see if I can find some electrical tape to tape off the ends and wherever there's a connector, just to make it smoother to go through. I'll be back. Check it out. I searched my whole shop and that's all the electrical tape I found. So I'm going to try and make it do with this, or at least get the engine harness slide through, and then we'll take it from there. I'd hate to spend a half hour running to the auto parts store to grab some electrical tape. Okay, so here's what I've done. I've ran the loom through the hole I made. There it is. And then I put a loop at the end of the accelerator cable and zip tied it here. I'm going to just wrap a little tape and go on the other side and give it a little bit of a tug. Wish me luck. I can feel it wanting to come through, but it might be getting hung up on my zip ties. So I'm going to go ahead and put this camera down, and I'm going to see if I can give it a little help. I'm all by myself here, so let's see what I can do. All right, guys, check it out. I got the harness to come through. So now it's just going to be a little persuading. But I think I'm going to be able to do it. It's getting close. All right, this is awesome. I think this is right to the point where I want to be, where the taillight harness is going to plug into. So I'm going to go ahead and tear all this tape off and then get it to fit inside there. And then I'll know how much I need to pull it back. All the tape and zip ties removed. I was able to get the harness to fit exactly where it needs to go. I've got generator and generator warning light. I have oil pressure light and coil. I've got left side turn signal. I've got right side turn signal. And somewhere under here I've got the lead that's going to go to the starter. All right, but I think I need to lay some paint. I didn't realize that there was no paint at all in here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take care of this and just shoot something in there before I button up the rest of the wiring and before I put the motor in. And of course, I just put the seat in, and of course, it's going to be in my way. So here's where we are here. I know the distance, all this will get pulled through, and I'm going to go ahead and attempt that now. Okay, in the front, going through that hole right there. I fed the accelerator cable in, put a hook at the end of it, a couple of zip ties. Now, I don't think I need to really tape all these up because that's the only hole it has to travel through, and I can go ahead and help it along. Here we go. And as you can see, feeds in there nicely. Just have to give it a little bit of wiggle room, like a wiggle wiggle, jiggle jiggle. And my harness has come through the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this tight and hope it has enough room to get to the speedometer. All right, up front, pulled the wiring loom through, untaped it, and started hooking up where, you know, the wires that I know go immediately You know, you have black and white, it's going to be left side always, and then, you know, you remember green, right, go. So these wires coming off of the loom, that's left tail light, and that's right, that's left turn signal and right turn signal. And then from this side, it's just going to go straight to the turn signal. Headlights, we've just got to figure out the configuration on which ones they plug into. But we have our idiot lights, our coil power. And so I've just got to look up a couple of these wires and figure out which ones go to where. That's got to be running lights. All right, I got to just look on the diagram and see where those wires go. But the black and white and the black and green, that's left and right turn signals. So that goes right into the turn signal switch. This must be tail lights. So we're going to go ahead and figure out where those go. This has to go, the headlight switch needs a new connector. All right, it's pretty simple. I think this 66 wiring loom is going to work just fine because everything is the same in the back. Everything is the same in the front. The only thing you have is turn signals, horn, and running lights go through the big blue box, which I'm going to bypass. All right, so inside, that's not going to be bad. I'll be able to glue that down and hide that behind the carpet. Going inside here, going back here, it's the same thing. I should be able to find a way to glue that into place. And when you come out back, we're set. Okay, I did the same thing for the interior light. I had to add a little bit of wire because I wasn't sure of the length. Ran my accelerator cable through there, up into here, down that post, and it came out the other side. So good. I'm going to go ahead and untape all this and figure out what kind of length I need, where these plug in, and then I'll get an interior light in. So at least it's wired for that. Out back, I treated the rust a little bit, primed and painted it. So now we can button up the wires back here and I can get the motor put into place. All right, up front, you can see I gotta take the radio back out, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the wiper system in and the bracketry and everything. And I've got all my wires lined up. So I've got to grab the schematic, and the schematic's on my phone, so I can't do both at one time. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. Wait a minute, hold the phone. I forgot I got a 63 laying right here. And look, all the wiring factory and intact, so I just went and sprayed it down and cleaned it up. I'm gonna chase some of these red wires, might not be original, but we're gonna follow them. No, actually they all look original. I guess it's just the way they're routed. So I could go ahead and copy this exactly like I have for my 64 right here. Well, that's gonna make it nice and easy. Okay, that's awesome. Since I had the 63 here, I was able to match up all my wires, everything that came from the wiring harness on the 66. The only thing I have to do is back here, I've got yellow and white wires that have to go to my headlight dimmer, and one line from the headlight dimmer to the headlight switch. So 3 wires I have to build, and I still have to put in the wiper assembly, but I think to do that I'm gonna have to drop the radio, which also hasn't been hooked up. But that'll give me a chance to get in here and get everything moved around. I'm quite pleased with my results from today. Still got a bunch of spare wires, but everything is hooked up and matches my 63. Still gonna get a speedometer cable. The one I had was pretty bad. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna button it up here, call it an evening, call it a weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Replacing a wiring harness with the incorrect year. How about that? All right, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and follow me along this journey as I do a budget CalBug build. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. PHILA TV. Ciao.